Who did? The police shot security.
Welcome to Advanced Security. This is Security Guard Hazard Training Lessons for Preventing Security Guard Deaths. The following video was inspired by the death of a security guard who was killed by law enforcement in November 2018. His name was Jemel Robertson, and he was only 28 when he was shot by Leos while detaining an active shooter. The purpose of this video is not to talk bad about the security guard. It's just to highlight the dangers, study the depths so that we can create SOPs, standard operational procedures, so we can prevent these type of situations. If you find value in this video, please press like, leave a comment down below sharing your thoughts and feelings. You're saying gracias, and subscribe if you haven't.
Every artist he's ever played for, every musician he's ever sat alongside of, we're all just broken.
This is video of Robertson playing the organ. He served as a musician at several churches and had plans to become a police officer.
Good evening, guys. Once again, the investigation into whether the officer who fired the fatal shots was justified in doing so continues. Suffice to say, it shows bar patrons and fellow workers upset and in disbelief of what had happened, and some who say they witnessed the officer firing without properly assessing the situation. Early morning hours at Manny's Blue Room Lounge in Robbins, and gunfire erupts. A police officer rushes to the scene, one of many. The security guard working at Manny's, Jemel Robertson, one of several that night, had just apprehended one of the shooting suspects. He was detaining him for police, holding the man at gunpoint. But then things went terribly wrong. A responding officer, Ian Covey from nearby Midlothian, shot Robertson in the parking lot of the bar. A preliminary Illinois State Police report said Covey gave multiple verbal commands for Robertson to drop his gun and get on the ground before opening fire.
He had his gun still out, holding the offender on the ground. My officer here, he telling him to drop his gun. I'm telling him he's working with us. Cool out. He's working with us. He shot him 4 or 5 times.
It was a chaotic, emotionally charged scene, to say the least.
Because your man shot my man. Who did? The police shot security. That's what happened.
An ambulance would arrive.
26 County, I don't know if they got an ambulance en route, if you can check with Robbins or whoever, but we need an ambulance in here ASAP.
But by then, it was too late. In the aftermath of Robertson's death, a racial element to what happened soon developed. Covey, who was white, had reportedly been bombarded with death threats in the weeks following the fatal shooting.
Justice for Jemel.
In the immediate days thereafter, protests taking place outside the Midlothian Police Department. Robertson was black. Co-workers and bar patrons accused Covey of assuming he was one of the criminal instigators, not a responding paid security guard. What is unclear from the released video is, was Robertson wearing anything that identified him as security, which is what a fellow security guard told another responding officer at the scene. He said he was wearing a bulletproof vest like his.
Do you not see us with vests on, bro? Why would I have a vest on, bro?
Also released cell phone video taken by bar patrons, supporting claims by Robertson's co-workers. He was clearly identifiable.
Cell phone video shows the chaotic scene in Robbins early this morning. 26-year-old Jemel Robertson was working as an armed security guard at Manny's Blue Room Bar. Witnesses say security asked a group of drunk men to leave, but at least one person came back with a gun and started shooting. Security returned fire, and witnesses say Robertson apprehended one of the men involved outside.
He had somebody on the ground with his knee in his back with his gun on him, like, don't move.
A Midlothian police officer who responded to the scene opened fire. Adam Harris witnessed the shooting.
Everybody was screaming out security. He was a security guard. And they still did their job and saw a black man with a gun and basically killed him.
Authorities are releasing few details tonight. 4 other people, including a suspected shooter, suffered non-life-threatening injuries.
He was getting ready to train and do all of that stuff. So the very people that he wanted to be family with took his life.
Once again, it's the continued narrative that we see of shoot first, ask questions later.
Hey guys, so these are my final thoughts for this video. When you're an SG, don't leave things to chance. You need constant communication between your clients, management, first responders, and the guards as always. Now, how often you have meetings, how often you send an email, that will depend on the company and your situation. Now, let's break down a possible SOP for you guys, the security guards that are most likely watching this. And if this reaches out to a manager in a security company, maybe this could help you as well, because managing the safety and thinking about all the what ifs is pretty hard and should be a team effort. And that's why I'm here. All right, as a security guard, first make sure your uniform looks respectable. Second, are there security companies marking on it? Are the logos of your company on your sleeves, on your hat? Is there something that identifies you as security? Do you have a security guard ID from the state or from your company? If you don't have one from your company that identifies you as the guard for that post, make one for yourself. You can do it online. You can go on places like Amazon, take a picture, customize your own ID. And as long as you're being upfront about it, it should be fine. If your company doesn't use a company ID while you're on duty, it's fine. Just keep it inside your pocket. And if Leos ever get involved, have that along with your state ID. Next, let's talk about what to do when law enforcement officers show up. Do you have a standard operational procedure on what to do? Do you understand on how your post has now changed? Once law enforcement gets involved, depending on the situation, you have to step back and just follow instructions. If your company doesn't have an SOP for those type of situations, write one for yourself. Make it a personal SOP. Make it a personal operational procedure. Feel free to share with your company and your client and the other staffs around you. So at least there could be some understanding of how you're going to react most likely if something happens. And if everybody comes to some kind of consensus, they all agree on it, it'll probably become part of your company's standard operational procedure and inspire them to do more. The following is for security guard directors. You have a tough job and you're trying to balance, budgeting, scheduling, all sorts of things. I understand that. But you have to monitor the safety of your employees, because without them, you don't have a product. And switching employees all the time is bad for your reputation. From Indeed, word will spread saying that, you're a predator employer, all that stuff. So you want to take care of your guards. You want to make sure you're upfront and communicating with your clients and the first responders that are near your post, wherever your guards are working at. So this is what I suggest you do. Go to the firehouses. Go to the police station near your particular post where you're making your money. Talk to them, identify yourself, and tell them, hey, my name is John Smith from such and such security company. I'm the director there, and I currently have a contract with this bar, this school, this location. We will have unarmed or armed security. This is the list of the guards that are going to normally be on rotation there. This is what our company uniform looks like. This is my direct phone number, and this is the phone number of our client. If you could pass that on to the guards that are working at this area where your post may be at specific times, every once in a while, it will help greatly to avoid friendly fire incidents like these. If you gain the trust of the firehouse and the police station, they might tell you who is normally on staff at that time. The worst thing you can do for your security guards, your client, and yourself is not provide proper information, not do your due diligence. You have to communicate with the people around you, because when things happen, you're liable. That's it, and that's that, guys. If you found value in this video, please press like. Leave a comment down below saying thank you, gracias. I really want this channel to grow to the point where I can monetize it. I want to create security guard hazard videos, high quality stuff with cutscenes or whatever, B-rolls with great music for you guys. I cannot do it without your help and your support. So definitely share this video, leave your comments down below, and let's work together to make this channel grow so we can provide better education for the security guard industry. Adios, chao. Lo quiero mucho.